This may be one of the most anticipated reviews that people are eagerly waiting when I'm gonna do this type of comparison of two different great decks that money can buy. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share my honest take on this Gustet Audio R26 R2R deck retail for 1650 US dollar versus Gustet Audio or the leaked DR70 which is retail for $400. Just to clarify with you, my room is 98% treated. Some may say 100% treated, but some area that I like to touch and fine tune it, so that's why I say 98%. So acoustically almost transparent in-room response and sound reproduction that I can hear using these S1EX towers designed by Andrew Jones, TAD drivers by Pioneer, final tuned in London Air Studio designs and everything involved in these towers. ASD silver XLR cables connected to two balanced input of Accuphase E4000, and I'm just changing input selector. Volume is matched properly. It's about 2 dB different in gain of these two different decks when I'm comparing it in my system. Let's say if I'm playing that R26 at the 60, if I play this DR70, I have to raise it to 58 to even out. For this particular setup, I'm using this SMSR N100S, my in-house network streamer Ethernet cable directly streaming from my NAS that I built from ground up using Linux operating system. So that video, probably I will make a different video about it. It's gonna be giant killer setup. I mean, better than any streamer that I've ever had when I built that, because I got rid of unnecessary softwares and features and everything from the computer setup and hardware optimized, and everything that I've done is I'm pretty proud of it. Audio Technica uplink coaxial cable to DR70, Mogami AES XLR digital cable to this R26 playing with my input selector on E4000. As far as musicality go, DR70 has good musicality or even great musicality of R2R sound signature that it can offer. It can easily compete up to $800, $1,000 price range of any deck. So only is gonna be left behind is when you compare to such as Musician Audio Pegasus 3 or those type of decks, then that's gonna be significant jump in sound quality as well as background noise control, dynamic range, and those area. As far as this DR70, I mean, I enjoy it so much as it is as a stock form without touching anything. It's not my thing that I don't like playing around with op amps or external power supply. And please keep in mind, good external power supply can get pretty expensive. Let's say, probably if I have to choose one, probably around $300 external power supply, linear power supply. That's gonna add, it's gonna be $700 decks already if I did that. And if I play around with op amps, some of the good ones go for around $200 range, so it's gonna jump to $900. Might as well save some money and buy Musician Audio Pegasus 3 or those Draco or those type of deck. DR70 is as good as it can be, but it's not entirely balanced design or grounded balanced design. The internal circuit design they're using switching mode power supply. Let's compare back-to-back internet of these two decks. Obviously, you will see switching mode power supply, that 24-bit R2R architecture of DR70. So that is going to be my right side. My left side is going to be the R262 internet picture. As you can see, the GLK02, the femtoseconds, the oscillator that it feature in there, plus were insulated power supply is shielded as well, and it has 26-bit R2R architecture, which is significant jump in sound quality. Even they may share similar voicing, similar FPGA programming for the voicing wise. That is one of the important factor in modern R2R DAC. Although they are sharing similar DNA, as far as the build quality goes, the price difference of $1,250 totally shows, because isolated power supply, fully balanced analog output stage, and it has transparent sounding pre-gain volume control stage that you can effectively use with your power amp or power speakers. That is another major benefit of spending extra money, right? Signal to noise ratio is 9 dB different. Dynamic range is about 9 dB different, right? That is obvious facts and specs that you can see. Those are major differences, right? 9 dB different in signal to noise ratio is obviously, it will show that in sound reproduction. When I'm listening these two DAC back to back, soundstage width, the R262 is probably a foot or two wider. And then the tiny nuances and those layering and those texture of micro notes and small nuances that come around you. It's something like right by your ears, or those kind of presentation and sound reproduction is in totally next level, like higher end DAC that you can get. That's why I say this R262 sound quality and sound reproduction is pushing up to $3,000 range of DACs in sound quality wise, right? That's why one of my favorite DAC. When I go back to DR70, I raise the gain 2 dB on my amplifier to match the sound pressure level, listening very same music. Another obvious thing that you will notice is how quiet this R262 background is. DR70 is why it giving me good stereo image, but a bit lower in the height of the stereo images. R262 is much taller, almost to the ceiling kind of voices and vocals that come toward me. So my listening position from the floor is about 40 inches, so which is right spot and enjoying with these speakers, and I sit around 12 feet away. As of right now, this DR70 stereo images best stereo image you can get out of any R2R DACs under $1,000 price range. I think I mentioned that in my original DR70 review as well. So that's how good it can be. Compared to R262, obviously not in the same level, and that bass quality, right? When I'm listening to some of the track, let's say Billie Eilish, Bad Guy, mid bass and low bass rolling notes with kick drums that go in intro area, and Billie soft voice, close mic performance that coming from the left, coming to the right, and those areas are totally in next level. Her voice is beautifully soft and effortlessly easy to listen, naturally reproduce, almost like I was listening there. DR70 can get me there, but pretty impressive for the money. Bass lines and kick drum notes in the intro well defined, but it's not gonna be level of R262 like clarity and separation and refinement is not going to be in same level, a bit less. I mean, that is totally understandable. I'm not expecting to have similar performance. Then what's the point of spending extra $1,250? So those are major differences. And another thing is low notes. So when I was listening to Patrick Tendo Gala track, right, it has good intro, acoustics, and everything comes in. So those complex area in the middle of the song, guitar notes and solos and both of the deck can deliver beautifully, organically, and musically possible way. But when the bass notes comes in, R262 just shows it totally different level of bass quality. But when I went back to DR70, I was wondering where those deep notes are because less noticeable, it's not as pronounced and lacking absolute definition of those notes area. And the guitar hand movement and that hand that going on to that guitar bar, those kind of tiny nuances are probably one of the best ever I have heard with this R262 in my system. It's beautifully redelivered. So that kind of realistic sound quality that we are hearing and we are getting for $1,650 is incredible buy. All those area R262 totally shows who is the boss, right? That much different in sound. DR70 can't even touch it in my system. So I mean, what's the point of spending $1,250 extra if I don't get that kind of sound quality out of? Those are the different maker. R262 doesn't have any op amps in there. So when we spend extra $1,250, that totally balanced analog stage, entirely balanced design from digital to analog output stage, good quality, volume control with pre-section that come with it, as well as all the number figures that you can see. So that's totally worth it if you are after top of the line sound quality and musicality. So when you go back to DR70, you are getting phenomenal sounding entry-level R2R deck that can easily rival any decks up to $1,000 range in musicality of it, right? So those are the both beautiful side of these two different price points that we are getting. So high-end sound quality, absolute resolution, and entry-level price point DR70 is giving us mid-range sound quality and musicality. It serves two different crowds depending on their system, depending on their budget. But when you try DR70 in pretty expensive system, one thing that I can guarantee you is it won't be outclassed by any type of system. It may show some flaws, but not gonna be unlistenable experience no matter what system you put them into. So that's how much they are good at, because signal to noise ratio, dynamic range, and all those numbers are better than ever you can get with R2R decks. Both of the decks are. It's only come down to your preference and your set price point. So if you set your price point for your dedicated deck with internet streamer, absolute best buy that you can get with DR70, even up to $1,000 price range. It has very similar internet streaming engine that they feature in both of the deck. Roon endpoint ready. The internet streaming engine that feature in these decks from Gusted Audio, they are most reliable with Roon playback system. They don't work very well with other playback systems, so that is one thing that I like to remind you. So if you are after $400 DR70, I would say go with it. You won't be disappointed. But if you want absolute sound quality, resolution, and everything that you can get for under $2,000 price range or even under $3,000 price range, R262 is no brainer. When I'm listening to the Cigarettes After Sex K. Dot music, the song, that rolling cymbal strikes that I always love to mention, it has a different placements of striking the cymbal in the music, right, across this, all across the song. So crown of the cymbal, middle, and edge, and those area the rolling notes are. So those kind of notes are obviously DR70 is not as realistic and not as sensitively can produce the placements or where the drumstick is hitting the placement of the cymbal, either crown or edge or that kind of placement. So those are the minor differences. But $1,250 difference, the overall sound quality, I would say generously saying 10 to 15% the most. So that's all up to you to decide. Both of these decks are incredible buy. They both have my total recommendation. So that is the experience that I like to share with you if you are wondering. That's it, my friend. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
Many times I've lived inside of high.